Guru Gobind Singh Ji was not only a great warrior, the creator of the Khalsa Panth, but also a great prolific writer, poet, philosopher, and also a great saint. Well versed in the languages Persian, Punjabi, Braj Bhasha, and also Sanskrit. The author of Dasam Granth, the 10th volume, in which compositions are addressed to the Almighty, the Akal, who is formless, timeless, immortal, who is beyond place and beyond name. The 10th of the last of the Gurus, Gobind Singh Ji, never sought an easy life. His life was a saga of selfless sacrifice, nobleness, and supreme belief in the justice of karma.
I will give my followers such a distinct identity that they will be recognized in the multitude and have no option but to stand up against injustice and oppression. Proclaimed Guru Gobind Singh Ji when he learned none of the people present there stood up to save his father out of fear. Khalsa mero roop hai, Khalsa mein karun nivas. Khalsa is the true form within him. I abide. Thus, Khalsa.
According to tradition, one morning after services, he sat in meditation before a great number of Sikhs. Suddenly he rose and said, "My sword wants a head. Who will come forward and sacrifice himself for the faith?" Fear, anxiety, disbelief spread through the crowd. Finally, one man stepped forward. Guru and his victim disappeared into the tent. A few minutes later, Guru Gobind Singh Ji appeared with dripping sword, calling for another sacrificial volunteer. This ceremony continued until 5 men had volunteered. Gobind Singh Ji had merely tested their faith. These exceptionally brave men, who were then conferred with the title of Panj Pyare, the 5 beloved. They formed the nucleus of the great Sikh military brotherhood known as the Khalsa, which was founded in 1699. Thus, the ceremony became symbolic of initiating 5 persons belonging to different castes and regions into the Khalsa. Guru Gobind Singh Ji loved art. Out of this love, he also invented musical instruments Dilruba and Taus. He was a master in archery and weapons. In fact, he had the most expensive and unique weapons that time. His poetry and compositions are unmatched. When he was just 19, he composed Jap Sahib, the vocabulary that stressed on just one fact, that is universalism. He is also known as the Sarvansh Dhani. This is because he sacrificed his life and family only for fighting against the oppression and wrongdoings. For him, the whole Khalsa community is his sons and daughters. What were the reasons for battles with Mughals and Pahari Rajas, the hilly chieftains? When Guruji baptized Panj Pyare, seeing this, the hilly chieftains asked him to prepare a separate Amrit for them, as they were not prepared to be baptized with so-called low caste, common class people. But Guruji refused, saying that his Amrit is for removing caste differences and representing pinnacle of spiritual enlightenment. He insisted the courage and leadership qualities among Sikhs to fight invaders when India was following vices like untouchability, caste system, inequality towards women, superstition, and rather fighting among themselves. His gift or boon of Amrit instilled courage and united Sikhs. He spoke against all distinctions and uplifted all classes, castes under one shed, making them fight invaders or tyrants, raised voice and protested against the unfair taxes levied against common Hindus. Guru Gobind Singh Ji militarized Sikhs. Militarized in that logical sense, he told Sikhs that they should be saints as well as soldiers, and to fight tyrants, weaponry, archery is required, and utmost for a Kshatriya, a warrior, and anyone who fights invaders is a true Kshatriya, as per his gunas. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji, earlier called Gobind Rai Ji, was 9 years old, his father did supreme sacrifice to save Kashmiri Pandits, as Guruji said to fight oppression. A supreme sacrifice was required as Kashmiri Pandits came to 9th Guru, as it is believed. One Pandit had a dream that only Guruji could save Kashmiri Pandits' lineage. Mughal rulers viewed the rising of Khalsa as a threat to their misrule. As a result, many violent battles were waged to crush the righteous band. Important among these were the ones at Anandpur Sahib and Chamkaur Sahib. In course of these battles, along with hundreds of Sikhs, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's 4 sons also achieved martyrdom. In December 1704, Chamkaur, a district in Punjab, saw a battle between Guru Gobind Singh Ji with his Sikh forces and a combined Mughal Rajput army. Although details of the conflict differ from one source to another, it is believed that the Mughal Rajput army was far greater in number, around 10,000 against just 40 Sikhs.
Swans were thus empowered to fight hawks. चिड़िया नाले बाज लड़ावा, गिदर को मैं शेर बनावा, 1.25 लाख से एक लड़ावा. The message was loud, emboldened and clear. There was no difference between the Lord himself and the Khalsa. You were no longer subjects of the emperor, but answerable to God. One becomes pure when one realizes absolute light within, a perfect combination of saint and soldier. That was the Emperor Prophet, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Along with other preachings of the Guru, you will love weapons of war, be excellent horsemen, marksmen, and wielders of sword, the disc and the spear. Physical power will be sacred to you as spiritual sensitivity. You will serve the poor without distinction of caste, color, nation, or creed.
Yet, the fight went on for longer than the coalition forces had anticipated. Between 21st and 23rd December, negotiations soon began, and an agreement was reached between the two sides to allow the Guru and his family safe passage. Alas, he was betrayed, and his entire family brutally, horribly massacred and wiped out, including his 6 and 9-year-old sons, who refused to convert to Islam and were buried alive. After the Battle of Chamkaur in 1704, despite the utmost tragic, painful times, Guru Gobind Singh Ji wrote Zafarnama, the victory letter to Aurangzeb, penning 111 verses in Persian that praised God. In the eyes of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, smoking is an unclean and injurious habit to be completely tabooed. Once Guru and his army were on their way to Anandpur, Guruji was on his horse when it abruptly halted in front of a field. They were about to go through. Guruji turned his mighty steed around and told the Fauj they would take another route, going the long way around the field. Later, one of Guruji's soldiers asked the Guru, "Guruji, why are we going the long way when we could have just walked through the field that we halted at? Surely we would be home by now." The Guru replied, "It wasn't me that had halted, but my blue horse who had caught the scent of the tobacco and refused to walk through such an unclean terrain. So, if my horse was not willing to enter into a field of tobacco, neither should my Sikhs be exposed to such a pollution." Every action of Guruji was done for a reason.